Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Let's get a bad news out of the way first. It looks like Nightwing is less of a priority for DC. This is coming off from the tracking board website. Chris McKay, who was supposed to direct Nightwing and has been tweeting out and hinting out about whole aspects of Nightwing. Even it has his profile picture as Nightwing. So you're like, well, what's going on here? But it seems like he's so excited about Nightwing, wanted to do it, but looks like Warner Brothers is not actually gonna, make it happen yet. And so now Chris McKay is entering talks to direct Dungeons and Dragons for Paramount. Well, that's okay, I guess. I mean, it'll make way for other movies to start. I mean, we still got the Batman, Matt Reeves on the Batman, which we don't know when is that going to happen. Todd Phillips is working on a standalone Joker movie starring Joaquin Phoenix. Apparently, he's still in talks with it. He's not really official, but that's supposed to be starting shooting in May of this year. Joss Whedon's developing Batgirl. John Francis Daly, Jonathan Goldstein, Flash's solo film, whether it's Flashpoint or not. I think it's still Flashpoint. We also got Shazam and Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad. So there's several titles to hold you over. But there's one that's holding us, is going to hold us over this year. Albeit ending in this year, and that is Aquaman. Aquaman is coming out December of 2018, and we just had a test screening today. Yeah. There has been a test screening confirmed. This is coming from Jeremy Conrad. He has tweeted out all day. I've been picking and choosing what to retweet because some of those tweets seem to be spoiler-ish. So this is coming from Jeremy Conrad and Monobyte. He is super excited to see Aquaman. He mentions the trench. He mentions Orm and Black Manta. How Aquaman looks exactly like this picture right here, up here. And he has the gold and the green gloves and stuff like that, so it's very comic book like. Orm looks like the comic book like. Black Manta looks very similar to the comic book. There's a lot of different creatures in it, and he's genuinely pretty excited. He's calling it like Thor and Loki type deal going on in this one, which is very similar in the type of sense with brothers, right? So yeah, that's happening now. And there's also, puts little tidbits in there like no water bubbles in this movie. They just speak normally underwater. I already talked about the suit and everything like that. So I mean, that it's getting pretty exciting, I can't help it. I'm like a lot of you is like, oh, DCEU, so Warner Brothers is gonna do something, and you're like, no, I'm done, and they talk about Aquaman, you're like, it's what? It's what? What's with Aquaman? That's me writing this whole day. I mean, I was kind of like, I wasn't too excited, but then I am excited because it's DC and wondering what's next, and whatever happened, Justice League, but I'm like, wait. So this got me going good. Okay, so BatmanNews.com also said something about it. He says, so far, 2 different sources told me they loved Aquaman. That's tons of action, but it's very emotional movie as well. Apparently, it's not media members who saw it. It's actual general audience. Did they laugh, though? I mean, if they didn't laugh, there might be some cutting there, But, I think it's going to be fine. I really think so. So, comic book debate, Shiraz Ferrucci also got to some sources, and he was able to get a group of people to talk about the screening today. And so he said that one of the reactions was that Aquaman is Star Wars underwater with a love story serving as the backbone. Ooh, okay, I'm guessing Aquaman and Mera. On comparing this cut of Aquaman to Wonder Woman, the VFX was not done, but the parts that were done looked gorgeous. Once the whole film is done, it will be amazing, and it will rival Wonder Woman. Whoa, okay. So, I don't know what to think of that. I mean, underwater kind of CGI and a lot of those effects. I'm really excited because I do like underwater type movies, and I'm very interested to see how the fighting would be, the ships and everything. I mean, it's got to be very interesting. I mean, another person who actually said, it's not on this, but someone said that it's like Final Fantasy meets Star Wars, the prequels, and I'm thinking in the good way, you know, the underwater scenes in the prequels, especially Phantom Menace, and then some of the Final Fantasy scenes. I can totally see that. And I'm getting really excited, you know? I mean, like, oh my God, really? Is it gonna? I don't know. I'm trying not to overhype again and be totally not totally disappointed, but not as hyped up and not as happy as what Justice League could have been. On James Wan's directing in Aquaman compares to Zack Snyder, David Ayer, Patty Jenkins, and Joss Whedon. You can definitely tell it's Wan's style. From the very first scene, the angle of the camera, the scenery, the background, you can tell it came from a horror director. I was like, that's classic. The very first scene shot. So with regards to that, James Wan, I can't really tell what his directing style is. I do enjoy his Conjuring films, but it's horror, right? So you've got that slow, you know, camera movements, and then he also does that one shot seamless going through the house, introducing all the characters in who are going to be living in the house and stuff like that. But I don't know what that means really. Def One style. I mean, even Fast and Furious, it didn't. I can't tell. I mean, it's not something easy to recognize like a Zack Snyder film. You know, it's not easy to recognize like a David Ayer. And Patty Jenkins has, you know, that's hard to notice either. So, you know how some directors have their own, like Michael Bay has his own style of filmmaking, and he just, I don't know. And, like J.J. Abrams has, if he leaves the lens flare stuff in there, that's his style, you know. So they have their own style. So I'm not really sure what Wan's style is. I'll have to go back and watch his other films to actually get a hang of what that style is. On the action of the film, James Wan killed it with the actions. No surprise, as he did Fast 7, and that was a pretty awesome action movie. On how much of the film feels part of the DC Extended Universe, it started with Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. Yes, they mentioned their victory against Steppenwolf, and Aquaman's quincentennial holds a story that connects to this Aquaman movie. So, okay. So they do connect to the DC Extended Universe, and I'm thinking it's going to be very loosely connected. They kind of just talk about it a little bit, but try to stray away from that part of the universe to get its own solo film. So I understand that. It's kind of like how what Wonder Woman did anyway. So I'm all for that. On how this person felt about the DC Extended Universe as a whole after seeing this cut of Aquaman, this gets me. I jumped off the bandwagon after Justice League. But after seeing Aquaman, if they leave everything as it sits now, I'm back. That's right. So for people who didn't like Justice League and loved what the DC Extended Universe had done before, there is a chance that we're going to be back on the bandwagon for Aquaman. Aquaman, who's being directed by James Wan, not Joss Whedon reshoots. Warner Brothers didn't be too much involved in this, where they were so involved in Justice League, trying to get that off the boat, pretty much putting their hands in anything that was Zack Snyder. So when they do that, they pretty much leave Patty Jenkins alone. I think they left James Wan alone. We don't hear anything about the production whatsoever, and seeming like the test screenings are overly positive, and it's general audience, not that whole thing. The Warner Brothers execs are clapping their hands, this is great, it's general audience, so it's a little bit more exciting that way. But we're still 10 months away, and they could pretty much do anything with this film, and hopefully not cut it up, and hopefully let James Wan be the one doing the cutting and editing something to fit his vision, to fit his movie, then I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. I don't want any of this people coming in on and trying to make it something else. You know, if they had talked about it first though, and James Wan agrees to that, then yeah, sure, let's do some of that. But I think it's gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be it's gonna be underwater. It's gonna be Atlantis. It's gonna be warring factions and stuff. Whatever, you know. I mean, it's gonna be secluded away from what other people. If they didn't like Justice League that came out, and if they're tired of the DC Extended Universe, it might be a good refresher, kind of like how Wonder Woman was. And Wonder Woman was the most profitable solo DC Extended Universe film, although the only other movie was Man of Steel, and that was a starter. So, looking good. I mean, I hope it does well. I hope it's true to James Wan's vision. And I hope the Warner Brothers will leave it alone, so we'll get what that vision is. And then, you know, I'm excited. I am excited to get back into being excited for the DC Extended Universe again, even though it's a character that I'm not truly invested in, but it is part of the universe, and I am a huge DC fanboy, as you already know, right? But I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are excited or not, but I'm getting there. I'm like, really? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Is it getting good again? You know. But anyway, and usually I only talk about movies, but I have to say this, man. That Brainiac picture right here, release for Krypton. I mean, I was kind of off and on about Krypton because, like, really, do we really need another prequel kind of thing to Superman? I just want to see Superman. But that Brainiac is, oh my, that looks awesome. I mean, that looks awesome. That gives me hope that they've got a great idea for an actual live action film version, you know? And I hope that actually happens for like a Man of Steel 2, a Superman sequel in some shape or form. And it gives me a lot of hope. I mean, way better than the CW one. Like, there have been so much Brainiacs coming out, from Smallville to Supergirl and now to this. I mean, why can't we have a live action film movie Brainiac? You know, like, why? Why can't that happen yet? And maybe it is happening, I don't know, but it gives me great hope. And I don't know what's the, you know, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not a real fan of the CW, and I don't know why a lot of people give it so much great regard. For the CW film, and it's coming rambling right now because I'm, you know, whatever, it's my channel. Today on Collider, yeah, I know, I still watch Collider, I don't know why. They talked about they're not excited for, you know, Flashpoint, and they're not excited for Batgirl because, you know, studio rambling, you know, not the greatest group. I don't really care for Mark Riley anymore, and Clark Wolf is like, really, you're horror, what are you talking about? You know, why are your opinions on this? But she's like, the CW is doing it great, this is how it's supposed to be. And I'm like, looking at CW is like, oh man, low production CW type stuff. I mean, like, you know, that's not mine. You know, that's great. You guys love the CW so much. You really thought the Justice Infinite Crisis was such a huge hit. I mean, it was okay. It was okay for television. But I mean, it's just, I'm more of a movie guy. I don't know. I'm more of a movie guy. I like Netflix because they can put a little bit more production into it, and I think I'm gonna like what they're gonna do with Krypton if I get around to watching it. I think I'm gonna like what they're gonna do with the DC streaming service. What is it? Teen Titans, and. Well, then there's Metropolis is another prequel, but you know, I'll if they show something that makes me legit, like, really excited for it, then I'm gonna be excited for it. But right now, it's like Metropolis. Oh my God, it's like Smallville over again. They're gonna throw some things. Look, that's like something that's connected to Superman. And the next episode is like, look, it's kind of, look, they talk about Clark. Ooh, you know, I mean, I'm sorry. I know I'm burst your bubbles if you're really excited about it, but I'm not. I really need that movie, Man of Steel. 2, I need that Superman sequel. I need to see more Superman on film. You know, I just want to see more of that, please. Jeremy Conrad did mention that he really does believe, from all the evidence, that Superman will be in Shazam, and I believe so too as well. So hopefully to see more of that. And someone else mentioned that maybe Superman is like the Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man of the DC Extended Universe, which is, you know, I'm not totally on board, but I'm like, I won't get mad at that. Like, if they did that, I would love that really good. But I still want that solo film, you know, without him being in other films. I want him, you know, tackling his own villains. You know, Man of Steel 2, you know, just do that, please. Well, anyway, it's gonna be, I'm rambling a little too long. Anyway, what did you guys think about Nightwing possibly not even being made? And it's really just a director's hope and dreams to actually get it made, but Warner Brothers is just not doing it yet. What do you guys think about the Aquaman test screening? Are you excited? Are you getting excited, or you kind of just gave up already? And what do you guys think about this Brainiac? I mean, why can't we get a Brainiac movie, you know, Brainiac in a movie, you know, even if it's like Justice League 3, you know, that'd be pretty intense, and just perfect. I mean, just, oh my God, so perfect. Okay, all right, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.